Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Yeehaw Lads podcast, episode number 80. We just had a bit of a scare. It turns out my smoke alarm started beeping and yelling at me, so we restarted the intro. So that was fun. This week was the Spotify Wrapped announcements and this and that, whatever, and most people know or don't know, nobody cares about who your artists are and how many minutes you listen to, unless it's unbelievably high or low.
I'll say it said one of my top songs was Dragula.
That's sick.
They give you your 5 most listened to fucking
your top 5
Rob
songs
Zombie
or whatever.
Dragula.
That's so you
absolutely
somehow.
heard it. Yeah,
you definitely heard it.
Yeah, it was interesting.
That's crazy, but
I'll say I didn't send it to you. But
we're not going to talk about it. I just want to bring up one thing because they also do one that shows your stats for creators.
Yeah.
How bad did we do?
Well, but there was one category I'm like, damn, that's actually kind of impressive. I'm going to share it with you guys right now.
Money earned?
No, negative. I'm still negative thousands.
Oh, fair. I knew this.
But this is the stat I wanted to share with you guys. My show is in the top 20% of videos on Spotify.
Huh.
How many videos are on Spotify?
Don't ask.
Millions. Yeah, but what's the actual...
Every video podcast, period. We're in the top 20% of those performers. Now, there's a lot of shows, I'm sure, that just like put out one video episode and then never do it again.
Yeah.
Like, there's like 2 million podcasts or something. So
there was... Like 3 years ago, there was 4 million podcasts.
Yeah, but the ones that do like video, say it's a
one or two, yeah.
Yeah, say there's 400,000 that do video. Of those, probably 200,000 get 0 views or give up after 1 or 2. So.
Yeah.
But still, we're in the top 20% for video performers on. Now, the top 10% are probably extremely high performers.
Oh yeah.
We're just in the top 20% apparently, so...
Neat.
That's not including all the YouTube views and stuff, but yeah. So I just thought that was an interesting stat too.
I guess I never really pay attention to the analytics on Spotify.
They suck. Don't look at it.
Cool.
Don't. Nobody wants.
Just be more depressed.
Several people watch on Spotify.
Several.
Yes.
Better than one.
Well, depends on the episode.
That is different than the number one.
Depends who's talking about what. Like if Andy's yapping about house nonsense again, you're getting 0 views.
Sorry, that's all I've done.
Hey, Andy, what'd you do this week?
Worked on my house.
Nope.
I was Shia LaBeouf and I dug some holes, motherfuckers.
You're missing one very important thing.
Oh, what else did I do? I don't know. Is this a trick question?
No.
Me and you? We went to Pizza Ranch. We went to Pizza Ranch. And I had horrible farts afterwards. It was literally the next 18 hours. I had uncontrollable farts. Not even it wasn't a Chuck E. Cheese pizza situation. It was not the shits. It was just the farts.
I don't remember if we talked about it on air or not. I think we talked about going as like or maybe it was right at the end or something.
Yeah,
but it was like Saturday at like 5. It's like it's just me and Andy. Everyone else is busy.
I thought this was gonna be like a couple people came, and no, everybody got busy.
So we drove all the way to Peoria, get some pizza.
I gave Brian, I'm like, hey, like
we don't have to.
Like we could go to the local place and eat as much pizza as we want.
Not the same.
It was not the same. There were many things that happened.
That was your first Pizza Ranch experience. How was the soda selection?
Minimal. And also if you drink the strawberry Fanta and then switch to Mellow Yellow, it looks as yellow as the trophies in the front. It was fucking like nuclear yellow.
The red dye in the strawberry Fanta makes a perfect piss yellow.
Dude, it was like
shockingly. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Drinking piss.
Yeah.
I was concerned.
It was a
little weird. But
so then after that, we're like, okay, we need to wander around before we drive an hour.
Yeah.
So went to the Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah,
I proceeded to go to the bathroom twice, mostly just as a precaution to fart, because both times I'm like, oh my God.
There's nothing worse than sitting in a car for a 2-hour road trip.
That was
you shit your pants 10 minutes in.
Yeah, that was my, I'm like, let's do something. Like, it's also like, it was 7 o'clock?
Like 7 when we left there.
I was kind of jealous you guys went to Bass Pro.
Yeah.
You could have came.
Yeah, you could have got hit on by some 15-year-olds.
Nope, I'm good.
I still don't know what happened there. I want to go there and roll back the tapes at Bass
I was
Pro,
so confused for so long after that.
So explain, what happened?
I don't.
We get there. I go to the bathroom right away. I'm like, let's relieve some pressure because I literally ate till I was uncomfortably full. Like it hurt.
I ate about 1.5 times as much as him, and I was just vibing, looking at the boats.
Yeah,
boats, just hanging out.
But yeah,
we basically just like loop the
store on the way back. One of the dudes is like, "Hey, I work for Bass Pro. It's a vacation sales. You know what I mean? Like that little kiosk setup, whatever." And like we're getting yapped to by him, and I'm like, I'm gonna shit my pants because like the pressure built up again.
Excuse me, I have to go shit my brains
making it
out.
Very clear, we're completely uninterested in what he's saying.
He's they're like some of the pictures and shit did sound pretty cool, and it was kind of neat. But like I was on the verge of shitting myself, and I'm also really poor right now.
You had
so I'm
more
like,
important things to worry about.
The second we start walking away from that dude, there's like 3, most likely for sure under 18 years old.
One of them
was questionable.
They were underage. If you have to question it, they're underage.
They're under our age.
For sure younger than us. But the one of them, like maybe, this is a lot of credit. They were probably old enough to drive themselves there. So that's
I would assume.
I'm assuming between 20 and 16. Like
that's a fair range. Yeah.
And the oldest one of the 3 said
like walks up to us like, oh hey there or something,
or howdy or hey, I think it was hey there.
I'm like oh hi, as they just like walk past us. I'm like,
I'm like,
what the fuck was
I was like, huh? What?
I'm like, maybe they're just bored.
A woman's talking to me.
I was like, we were both very confused, and I was speed walking to the bathroom. I would have loved to engage that if it was a different scenario, but I'm like, I don't have the time.
Yeah, you couldn't
have to poo.
Like, there's no chance for like a do I know you? Just like, okay, they walk past, Andy's got to go the other way.
I kept walking. And Brian's like, I'm gonna go look at the flannels. I'm like,
I'm gonna go wander around, look at because it was after Black Friday, so. My coworker Joe went for Black Friday. I'm like, was there any good deals? He's like, no.
Nope.
He wasted my whole day. Because he drove there to get there at like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh my god!
To get there when they open, get all the good deals. He's like,
there's no good deals.
He's like, there wasn't any good.
They
deals.
don't. I feel like
no one has
Black
good deals.
Friday is just
it died when we were in high school. Like I went to one my freshman year, and there was like actually good shit.
Yeah,
I was too poor to fucking afford it because I was in high school. But
still,
yeah, exactly. But
wow,
my freshman year we went to the Peru Mall, and
at like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, kind of popping still. There was a riot to get into the Victoria's Secrets because they had 50% off like thongs and panties and shit.
So why were you going?
I wasn't. I was outside waiting for like one of the other stores to open, but like. I was with a group of like 12 people or something. So like the girls were going in. There was a stampede into the fucking store. They knocked over the table and like destroyed a bunch of shit trying to get to these panties. So like as far as like actual pandemonium, like crazy shit that happened. Like there was like that actually was still a thing. Like freshman year.
I think
that would have been 2013.
Like Black Friday kind of rush thing. I remember. So I went with my sister because I was the only one that would stay up late.
True. Still same.
We went to we went to the Brew Mall, went to JCPenney's or Bergner's or one of the two, or whatever.
They're all the same.
And got stuff there, and then we went to the Walmart in Princeton.
Okay.
Everybody Black Friday shopped at the Walmart in Peru.
Yeah.
So the one in Princeton was fucking dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comparatively, absolutely.
And I remember they had pallets of stuff rolled out to like the center aisles.
Yeah, for the big deals and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It was a bike for Lacey.
Oh, okay.
And you had to like wait. And so my sister was on the other side of the store getting like the electronic stuff, and I was over in like the sports getting like 3 other things. We met in the middle, checked out, and left.
Sure. Pretty efficient little trip.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I don't really ever remember like a stampeding.
Yeah. That was the only one. Like I've seen like a little bit of a rush here and there.
Yeah.
But again, like I only ever went, I think freshman, sophomore year, maybe. I didn't go junior or senior. I went to Dunham's to get when I turned 18, I bought the DPMS AR-15 for it was $400 on Black Friday.
Yeah,
even today that's still a pretty good fucking deal on a
you can
mediocre AR.
Yeah, you can beat that today, but still not in this state.
Exactly.
So can't order anything
at the time. Well, I also conned my dad into it. I'm like, hey, you want to split on this?
Split a fucking $400.
So we're each $200 into this fucking AR-15.
This
I'm
mediocre
like,
AR that runs.
Oh yeah, I'll say it works enough. So
they overgas the piss out of them, but they run, so it's fine.
But yeah, like I think that was that would have been senior year. So Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I might have fucked around junior year and went, but like
I don't think
I've started to die, and then after that it's just completely dead.
I don't think I've ever gone once. I've never been like
now it's a
man.
week long, like 20% off, as opposed to like a 1 day.
Not
50%
even
off.
sometimes, because I did.
Some places have good deals. If
Some
you look.
people. Some places do, but you really have to look and know what
Everybody
you're
says
wanting
up
to
to
buy.
70% off. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this one thing that's like $6
Yeah.
is 70% off.
Black Friday. So the way my Amazon works is I
don't even look at Amazon.
just
You're gonna buy the shit either way, and you
well,
can find it cheaper on the
yeah.
same website. So I don't even like. It's not even fun.
But so my personal Amazon is just like my active cart, and where I just item dump.
Yeah.
And then I go through and I put my orders, and then I move it over to
The Prime account.
the Prime account, and then I order everything. I think for Black Friday, I went and scrolled through my entire Amazon cart.
Your lists
Yeah.
and stuff.
Which
yeah.
like I really never delete anything unless
You?
like I know I'm not gonna buy it.
You never delete anything? That's
Yeah,
I
crazy.
think there was like 2 things on there that were on Black Friday sale.
They're
Yeah.
like $10
One of them was
off.
my light bar that I already bought,
Love
Rip.
that.
and the other was a rocker switch that was $12 and it was on sale for $7.99.
Damn. You buy
I'm
100
like-
of them or no?
Wow. This is fucking pointless.
That's because you're already saving Chinese garbage to your cart. They can't make it that much
I-
cheaper.
I
say
don't know.
the best deal I saw on all of Black Friday. It was a 25,000 pound rated toe strap, 20 feet long, with
Okay.
like sewed in black sheathing on the ends at Menards for $4.99.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
I was like, oh,
actually.
it's usually like $10-12. That's
It's
$4.99. I'm like,
off-ish,
okay, like
you know?
yeah, I kind of want a spare one because I have a 30-footer in the Crown Vic. I didn't even realize. Oh, it's still on the propane tank that I moved. But either way,
Now you know.
need to grab that one. We have a 30-footer in the Crown Vic. I have that same exact 20-footer on my 4-wheeler. I'm like, wouldn't mind having a spare just for whatever.
Because if you tear it up for $5, whatever.
Oh yeah, I was gonna probably buy 2 honestly, just
Yeah.
because like
Yep.
between the Jeep having a bullshit strap is nice, and then having just one in the garage for whatever
Yep.
would be kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have a.
That was it. That was the only thing I was like, oh, I'd kind of like to buy that, but I had no reason to go shopping
to drive
Thursday,
to Menards.
Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So,
Yeah,
Black
Yeah.
Friday is just kind of bullshit now.
exactly.
pretty
So,
mediocre.
yeah, but
Well,
yeah.
since you didn't go shopping Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what did you do other than Pizza Ranch? Because that was honestly the highlight of the week.
Yeah, no, Thursday. I mean, we recorded on Friday.
We recorded on Friday, so
Yeah.
everything's fucking.
No, Thursday.
weird.
Well, I'll say my family does it weird. We do stromboli, which is basically a giant calzone, but it's the size of a pizza.
so you had pizza Thursday.
Thursday because it's whoever can make it. Because
Yeah.
usually everybody's so fucking busy Thursday to go to actual Thanksgiving that we just kind of put it on Sunday.
Yeah, Friday was your insulation.
Yeah, blowing insulation on Friday. Hungover because we drank till 3 a.m. on
Remember that from
on
last
Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So
we
rest
we
of the day
recorded
Friday.
we recorded Friday and then went to dinner.
Yeah,
we were all like exhausted by the end of dinner.
pretty much. Yeah, overate on Friday. Had the farts up until like pretty much all
Saturday
day
hit,
Saturday.
like 4, and then
Yeah.
you're like back to eating.
Finally back like okay, and then I also overate again on Sunday. I'm like, this is a rough series of events.
Just straight up torture.
Pretty much. My stomach is it's a
stomach.
trooper.
It's in knots.
It's a trooper. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday didn't. Sunday. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Look up.
Fuck, here we go.
Sunday I got to help. I kind of owed it to my uncle who helped do the blue line insulation.
Okay, fair.
His son has a Jeep Cherokee, like a 2016 Jeep Cherokee.
Uh-oh.
Look up the brake bracket hardware on a Jeep Cherokee, front and back. They are different.
Uh-oh.
And I've never ran into this hardware before in my life.
Okay, what are we looking for here?
That's the replacement right there. Like right
Well,
where
right there doesn't this
down one for right there.
This?
That is the rear. That is a Torx, but it looks really fucking weird. It's not like a regular Torx
Yeah,
head.
it looks
bit.
like it's split.
It's a hex head.
It is
flange
Torx. It's a
bolt.
T55 Torx.
Yeah.
That's for the rear brackets because you have to take the brackets off to get the rotor off.
Yep.
Whatever. It's also lug bolts, not studs. So lining everything back up again, kind of when you're done, fucking
super
sucks.
annoying. Yeah.
So this is what my uncle didn't have this size at his house. No
Right.
big deal.
Yeah, whatever.
We were like right next to the parts store. He went and got the T55, got whatever else. All right, cool. Come back. Right there to your right.
I'm on the
Or
right.
yeah, that one. Yeah,
The one I'm on.
That's for the front. That is. Do you know what that's called?
That's the opposite of a Torx.
Yeah, you know what it's called? It's called an extruded Torx bolt or an E-bolt.
Yeah.
So or ER.
Yeah. But it is a Torx, but inverted out instead
Correct.
of in. Yeah.
Them
You know
are-
what doesn't fit on that? Anything. Fucking socket that I would have at my house or my uncle would have, because my uncle has a typical 50-year-old I have my Craftsman toolbox, which is 24 inches wide and 5 feet tall.
Yep.
And
never gonna buy anything.
And I only have 100 sockets. I have 300 sockets in my 72-inch Husky because I'm a car guy. I get it.
And if they're not unbelievably tight, a 12-point can sometimes back them out.
This is the brake bolt that has factory Loctite,
which means it's tight as shit.
Fuck. We didn't even get to the front because the back took. Well, I got there at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We had to be at dinner at the grandparents' house at 3 p.m. or it was
2 or 3. Yeah, it was not
3 p.m.
I remember you saying
started at 9. Took 3 hours to do one side. By the time we had to drive around, get the bolts, get the nut, get all the accessories.
Yeah.
Can't be tight when it
took
liquid.
40 minutes to do the other side, which
you already had all the tools.
Had all the
saving
tools,
time.
Figured it all out, got it all done. We're like, all right, we're 4 hours into this. It is 1 o'clock. We need to get ready to go out to Grandma and Grandpa's. So
point of interest here, Marcus. How long did it take to do the brakes on my truck?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
In the front.
What specialty tools did you need?
A hammer and a chisel.
Yeah, you could do it all with a crescent wrench and a fucking hammer. Yeah,
I will say, because I went over. What day did you guys go to Pizza Ranch?
Saturday.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And I helped you work on some little stuff.
Yeah.
And I went to go do the shocks for the front.
I tried to give him an easy task. I'm like,
just toss these 2 bolts in top, bottom, bing, bang, boom.
There was
done.
2 jobs left. It was the track bar for the front axle.
Yep.
Or the shocks.
Yep.
I'm like, just put the shocks on. I have brand new hardware.
Yeah.
Can't be that fucking
brand new
hard.
hardware, brand new shocks.
Brand new shocks.
Yep.
Just put them together. You just put the bolt through the hole and put the bolt through the hole. It's done.
The rears came strapped.
Yeah.
So they're already, they're compressed.
Yeah.
But
fronts fucking didn't.
Oh.
And the top bracket.
I was just assuming that you cut the strap and then Brian just watched you go, you fucked up.
Yeah.
As it slowly expanded.
It did in fact expand.
So,
okay. Yeah, they were unstrapped out of the box. At least that one was. We didn't check the other side.
We didn't.
But I'm assuming they both were.
So, I'm using punches to kind of align everything because it's a little tight because the bushings had gone bad. And so,
the shit's a little awkward sometimes.
Tightening those over time, it bent the ears in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was able to get the bottom in, but then I realized after I got the bottom bolt in, I wasn't able to fully seat the bushing where the hole was up top.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a good picture to illustrate.
I had to take a fucking
that's not it.
bushing or a chisel and bend the fucking tabs out of the way.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Now with your new big thick bushing, it's not blown out like the other one
doesn't want to fucking fit.
It's a little cozy now, yeah.
So gave up, took the pin out of the the bolt out of the bottom.
After he fought to kind of get it in.
Yep.
Because that bushing's in there, it doesn't want to go in straight. It wants to be all fucking cockeyed and weird.
Mm-hmm.
So then I proceeded to spend, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes
at least
trying to get the top one by itself lined up, to then realize that I'm too big of a dumbass and I had it all set up with the strut hanging over the brake rotor. It doesn't compress high enough for me to swing it in and drop it into place.
Of course, because why would it? That'd be crazy.
So then I had to take it out again. To have it under tension up in there. So now it's under tension and it's cockeyed.
Yeah, here's that.
Yeah.
This is the mount has to go inside of.
Yeah, that's pretty tight clearance.
So
and the rear of the inner fender well is so pushed in you can't fit a punch in there and hit it.
Sounds a lot like a you problem.
Yeah.
So I gave up.
It took about half an hour and he got the bolts through the eyelets. He's like,
I had to use the original hardware for the top bolt.
There's
the top bolt is tapered.
Here's a good picture.
So
these ears at the top
were bent in.
They get bent over time just from taking it in and out and beating stuff up.
Yeah.
So by the time you'd line it up with the one that just goes on a leaf spring, which are probably also bent.
Fair.
Like this is not a straight line anymore. From one eyelet to the other.
Yeah.
So he's in there just, motherfucker, this, that. I'm like, I just did a track bar in like 10 minutes. What do you mean? Like, this is easy.
I was not happy.
The shocks were already out. This isn't, I didn't make him take it apart.
No.
I did that all myself, you know?
So I got one of them.
Got one of them.
Not tight, just the bolts in it.
And one of them is the old bolt, one of them's a new bolt.
Yes.
Just fucked my shit all up.
Then you do it.
I'm going to. I'm going to have to because you can't.
You only did the one side. You didn't even
one corner.
Because we at that time,
it was
I
getting
had to
Oh
get
yeah, because
going.
you bought
You guys,
new shocks for the rear too.
Yeah,
correct?
I bought all 4 shocks.
and it was about 5, so you guys were getting ready to go to Pizza Ranch. So
Yeah, you were like
it was time
on
to
your
clean
way
up anyway.
Even.
Yep.
So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Okay, back to whatever you were doing
Fuck shop.
before we cut you off and roll.
I don't even know what it was. Well, yeah, no, that was Sunday, but yeah.
Yeah, Sunday.
I don't know what the fuck did I do Monday.
I don't know. I mean, you got pictures of a bunch of shit.
Monday, I don't know. What did I do? I don't do fuck all. Did I?
You just do nothing on Monday.
I guess I don't know.
Man, must be nice.
Did something.
Just something got done, whatever it was.
Some stuff got done. Tuesday. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Between Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, I really didn't. I know it. I didn't do a lot. Monday, I was out at the new place, kind of getting a list of all the shit I had to get done, like that day.
Sure.
And yeah, just kind of mess around out there as much as possible because I knew. Oh, actually, I do remember what I did Monday.
Let it rip.
Yeah, made a list of everything I wanted to get done. Also had my neighbor Matt come over, and he dropped the 2 trees.
Ah, that's what these are.
Yes.
Trees.
These are the 2 trees that if they weren't there, it'd be a really nice little roundabout. You could drive around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're finally gone.
Nice.
What side of the?
That's his burn pile. That's his
Yeah.
hill.
Just to the right is my garage. Yeah.
Okay.
So now you can
Yeah,
back
them are a
up and
pain
not
in the
hit
ass.
anything in my driveway.
There's stumps in the way.
No, something
Not
gone,
anymore.
too,
Oh,
because I had them. I wanted these dropped so that
you could
Wednesday,
dig 'em
when it was
out.
warm out, when I was doing all my digging, if I had extra hours on the
Little
machine,
digger.
I could rip those stumps out. Those 2 specifically were my very next agenda.
So you picked up a San Y.
Yeah, Sanny.
Sanny.
YS35, I think. SY35.
ST350.
35U, I think.
It's all the same.
Either way, yeah. It's basically a Cat 305 sized. It's 8,500 pounds. Had a 2-foot bucket on it. Had a thumb, which was very convenient.
Thumbs are so nice on an excavator.
Yeah.
Especially when they actually get out of the way.
Also
like
had a
this
blade
one.
in the front, which is nice.
Yeah.
This, Marcus, if you don't know where that little flag is there,
Hey,
was looking
I
for the
did that.
water line. This was my first thing that I was trying to get done.
And
Found it. It was down further from your last flag because I wanted to hit.
that's fine.
If I hit it, I wanted to hit it way down there.
But was
If
it
you-
kind of following that line?
Basically, it
No
followed that. It
shit.
followed that lower part.
Was it
yeah.
a metal line or was it?
No, it was
PEX?
plastic. Yeah. So I'm assuming that frequency just followed
The water.
It kind of vibrated through the
What,
water.
like you hooked onto the metal, but I'm assuming that frequency followed through the water that was in the
Be
plastic.
conductive.
Well, plastic isn't. So water.
Well, it has to
water
be conductive to start the frequency. I don't know how far it'll go without.
I mean, water's technically conductive,
Conductive to a
just very
point.
poorly.
Well, I mean,
Either
this
way.
was 6 feet deep,
Okay.
Tube.
so
That's about what.
or
you,
maybe 5.5, I guess.
Yeah.
This isn't the picture. There's another one of the
There's
hole
another one.
with a lot of spaghetti. It kind of looks like tree roots, though.
I like spaghetti.
I sent you one other one.
Is it this one? Maybe.
I don't even know. Yes, here you go.
This is
Zoom
the
in
one.
on that.
Where do you want me to zoom in at?
There's
Just anywhere, and you'll see more. Look at that.
Coax.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3. There's a green extension cord in there
There's this down
somewhere.
here.
That
what
is the water.
Fuck.
And then if you
that's
zoom
actually
in-
a root. That's a brick.
That is that is a lot of bricks.
A lot of
If you
bricks.
zoom down in there, I found the power that went to the house as well. There were 3 big.
Oh no shit.
Go up a little bit, Ryan.
So power and water.
Yeah, that is
found-
power.
or ran-
Power and water, we were within 6 inches of each other.
I mean, that's ideal. That way, if you can hit one, you'll really fuck it
yeah.
up.
I didn't hit the water. I did fuck up the power. Luckily, it was off, and it's cut out of the box, like off the power pole.
Whatever.
Before you stuff raw line voltage into your
But yeah.
Well, it's
so-
his excavator.
It is what
Did
he's
you
renting
sign
it.
the
Rubber
the-
tracks.
Did you sign the
Comes with it.
insurance?
Oh, yeah, by the way, the excavator was $275 for 8 hours of runtime.
That's not bad.
I did 7 hours and 54 minutes of runtime because I wanted to get every fucking minute I could out of
Hey,
it.
you
just
had
went out and
like
drove in
5 more minutes.
Drive in circles for 5
Yeah.
minutes.
I'm getting my 275.
They're like,
out
well,
of
it's
this.
8 hours, 1 minute overage fee. You're like,
Well, yeah.
get screwed by
Yeah.
it.
So, but
Loading and unloading on
So you
it
just
adds
went and did
another
a
hour.
bunch of digging with
I
an excavator?
did. I dug for the water line. I bought a 100-foot roll of it because that's all that Menards had in stock
for the PEX line.
for
yeah.
the PEX. It was plumbed in the garage. It's out of the PVC. Let's say it was a 3.5 foot hole. So we'll call it 6 foot there, 4 feet out, 20 feet over, and then the rest all the way down to where it connects. It was the whole 100-foot roll.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's
I
amazing
dug
how
that.
quick.
So I dug that 4 feet deep. Well, where I found the water was 5.5.
Right.
Dug that,
So, did you connect it to where it teed to the house?
The only part of the water is still open.
Just what you're planning on doing?
It's still open. I'm waiting for my uncle to do it because I don't know what fitting he wants to use.
Yeah, you might as well use
that's he does this every day. We'll just let him do that.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it's all that hole is all backfilled in, and it's all good.
All nice and neat like now.
Yeah.
So you got it dug out and backfilled in one day.
Keep going.
Where do it's kind of out? It's out of order.
To your right there.
This one.
Yep.
Okay.
This is the leach field and 7-foot deep hole for the makeshift septic, which is another, like you can see the water where it goes. This is 4 feet over is the trench for the leach line.
Sure.
And then the hole for the septic it's a flipped angle. I'm off the corner garage if you want to find that picture too.
Yeah.
But this is also
like
4 feet deep. Call it 50 feet long.
This one, I think, right?
Yeah. And then I dug this 7 foot deep by 4 feet wide by 10 feet long hole.
This awfully casket-sized hole.
Well, you can fit a lot of caskets in there.
It's an very awkwardly shaped thing.
Yeah. And this is a mountain of dirt.
Well, there's a lot of dirt here.
On the right side. On the left side, I filled it in just because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. So I threw as much everywhere else as I could.
This is a halfway decent hole. Are you like a real excavator guy?
I'm
like your day job?
Bash it in as fast as I possibly could because I had other shit I wanted to do.
Because you have exactly 8 hours.
Yeah, and I probably had an hour and a half in removing stumps too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's the fun. You just
I also cleaned up. There's a pile of logs in pictures. I also cleaned up. I drove to the bottom of the hill right there. Yep. Drove to the bottom of the hill, pulled all the logs and shit that were just kind of laying around and like into one big pile. That way, if my neighbor Matt wants them, he can come over and cut them all up and do whatever with.
Drag them up.
Or even you can cut them up and just put them in a pile and burn them later.
I'll say at least for now they're all I made a little ramp down into the ravine because before it was pretty fucking sketchy to get down there. I was definitely on 2 wheels a couple times on the 4-wheeler when I went down there.
Sure.
So made a little bit easier access there, but cleaned out the trees that I could grab out of the ravine, all off the side of the hill. Like there was a bunch of half burnt ones that somebody just threw in the weeds after the house fire. So I'm like, well, let's grab all those because I'll either throw them on my pile or Matt will want them to burn them too.
At the very least, you get them out of the weeds so they're not getting overgrown all year forever.
Yeah, I'm also planning to rent a skid steer eventually, and I'm going to make a nice gradual path around the backside of my garage that actually goes down to the lower area. Right. Make it easy enough to like at least a Subaru can do it. Like
where it's like, it's not a sketchy like you're side hilling something.
Yeah, no, it's going to be like as graded and nice as possible, and also it will get grass seed at some point. Just get grass to make it kind of nice.
That way it keeps its shape. It's not tearing through muck trying to get up and down.
Exactly. So yeah.
Neat. Wow. You got a little video?
Hold on. I want to see. Basically, that was like I said, 8 hours of runtime. I picked it up at 8:30. Oh, my uncle came and dropped off all the drywall for the upstairs as well.
Nice. How many pallets of drywall did you end up?
They're like 12 foot. 12 foot, 2-panel per package, and there was like, I don't know, 15 of them.
Yeah, a dozen of them.
However, there's a lot of drywall there.
Some random
but he said it's enough to do. I also got this at a huge discount because the company he worked for is going out of business. So,
so they're just wholesaling it to you, which is
nice. Which is awesome.
Fair enough.
Perfect time to build a house when a building supplies company's going out of business.
He did offer me enough siding to do the whole thing, but it's like a dark gray. I'm like, I fucking fell in love with that blue, and I really want to do that blue.
What blue?
It's just a really nice like
a medium slate blue or whatever. Some just generic.
It's pretty nice.
Like at Menards or whatever.
No, it was from the company. It's called Spruce Blue by Dimensions, I think. I saved a picture of it. I'm like, just in case I'm not able to buy this.
Or Dimensions.
Dimensions, I thought.
Okay. I don't know. It's not that important.
Picture of it. Yeah, Dimensions.
No, that's a tree.
Or Sellwood by Ply Gem.
That's a tree. It's okay. Not that important anyway.
Yeah. Either way,
good.
It's blue. It's a nice color. It's got a little like black speckle in it. Not you can't really see it, but it changes the color how you look at it.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that color, especially if I want to do the like limestone bottom wainscot, 4 feet or whatever.
Yellowish white limestone contrast.
Yes,
the blue
I think
really
it would
nicely.
look very sharp, especially with a wooded background. I think it'll pop. Yeah,
right out the woods.
It's gonna be double what he offered me for that gray, but
it looks so. I mean, you could get the gray and just spray paint it.
Just
every 5 years, forever.
Yeah, but either way, so
so progress there and a lot of digging
he delivered that. Went nuts. One of my neighbors came over. And he's like, he asked me, he's like, so what are you doing for the septic? I'm like, well, we were on the far side, like he couldn't see the big hole, but he saw the mountain of dirt there. I'm like,
he has a pretty good idea.
I just kind of like kept walking back up towards the road to like have him not look at it.
Yeah, he has
he's like, who'd you call for that? I told him.
You told him, yeah, the company that you had come out and quote it the first time.
Yeah, so I'm like, well,
called him. He came out and looked at some spots.
Yeah, so I got it between two people, like whoever's free that day, whatever. AKA, I can just say, oh yeah, whoever came out and did it, it's done and it's tied into the old system. Yep,
get it done right at the right time.
Yep.
Cool. So you used all 8 hours. You dug stumps and dug trenches.
Yeah, I dug. I moved the LP tank away just because it didn't need to be there and it was in my way when I was doing that. I ran out of room a lot.
Connected to anything?
It's a dead line that went down to the house, and I disconnected it and then just moved it.
Fuck
and tried to rip up as much as it's still sitting out there, like on the.
Oh yeah.
It's still kind of in the dirt for now,
but you can always tear that up in spring.
Yeah, it's also only like fucking 4 inches deep.
Yeah. So God forbid, if you don't have to get it done before it snows in the next couple days again.
Yeah. Yep. But dug up a bunch of stumps, moved all the logs. Got really sketchy on like the backside of the hill. Like there's not a lot of room to park the excavator, and it's also the reason my knees hurt so bad because the entire time I'm doing this, I'm on a fucking slant. So like I'm pushing my legs back into the seat.
You're bracing.
So I braced my legs for 8 hours fucking straight.
Yeah, fuck that.
I was the only flat spot I was on was digging the big hole, and then the stumps later on.
Yeah, so call it 2 hours of like decent-ish, not
setting my feet on the floor instead of on the footsteps or the foot pedals and like bracing myself.
Yeah, 6 hours of stuffing your leg in trying to hold yourself in place.
Yeah. It was
damn
a little rough. And like I said, my knees they hurt. They were just on fire the rest of the night, and they cracked so many times the next day.
And they're still cracking, and it's Thursday.
Yeah. Well, this was yesterday, but it was
true.
A little rough. But yeah, no, they still kind of a little rough today. But yeah. Dug those 2 big stumps out to where I have like a decent place to pull around now. Dug out that 1 stump by the fire pit. Did a little bit of other stuff here and there.
There's a lot of like essentially landscape management. Yeah. Just like digging holes, rearranging stuff.
I try, and that was the thing. I had a list of the stuff I needed to get done.
Was the list on the whiteboard?
Yes. It's not the picture I have.
Damn it.
But I was able to do it. I was able to cross off everything I had on it.
Okay, but did you cross it off or did you erase it?
Well, I erased it.
Oh,
sorry.
No.
I know. I need the space to write more stuff.
But you have to cross it off, and then you can erase it like in 5 minutes.
Fair,
you have to,
fair. Yeah.
I did it. Cross it off.
It still feels good to fucking wipe it off, though. But
100%. But whiteboard of power has to be.
Yeah, there's still plenty of things to cross off.
Whiteboard of power.
Whiteboard of power.
Oh no! Please stop.
Jesus Christ.
So anyway, I made a nice area to turn around in. Right?
Yeah. Look
you got
at you.
A nice little turnaround.
If you want to play the video?
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I turned around.
And
okay, let's see what's happening here. You got the audio ready?
If you can't tell, yeah.
Good.
Audio's fine. It might have it. I don't know. Or it's gonna be.
I might have it on the wrong device.
Yeah.
Which one do I want?
I don't remember.
Audio device. There we go. Oh, Marcus has my board muted. Oh, never mind. There it is.
No, I got it.
That's just the excavator running.
Oh. Wood?
You see, when you put an 8,500-pound excavator on a trailer and you drive into a probably 6 foot by 6 foot hole you just dug, it's gonna be a little soft.
Sink.
So I sunk.
Yeah.
And the truck would not pull this fucking thing out because it sunk a foot.
I say you're reaching pretty deep into a hole here.
Well, no, that was just I used the excavator because it was chain and binder down. I used the excavator and pushed down on it to lift the trailer out. And with the bucket, the backside of the bucket is smooth. So I used that and just drug the arm out while it was lifting the trailer up.
You're essentially using it as like a boat paddle and like just pushing yourself just a little bit.
Well, no, I lifted it up, put the wood under it, and then kind of left a little bit of pressure still on the excavator arm, but then went in the truck and drug everything enough to still have some weight up off the trailer.
Yeah, I was like, did you put the truck in neutral and just like kind of push it along with the excavator arm?
I tried that. It wouldn't go.
I didn't want to do it.
I did have to do that because I don't know if you guys knew it rained for like 10 minutes last night.
Sure.
Yeah, I was at the bottom of the hill when it started to rain. And it's all covered with fucking leaves and sticks and shit.
So it's slick as fuck.
So I have to go all the way back up, and I drive until I can't. Start sliding, shove the teeth in the ground, put the blade down, really slowly lift the arm to see if I'm going to slide again. Luckily, the blade holds me. boom the arm out again,
to get some
And just
lift
gravity.
the blade up,
up.
crawl 4 feet, put the
Christ.
blade down, lift the arm up, extend it out again, all the way up.
Well, did
the
you get up the hill?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, so you're fine.
I only slid a couple of feet one time until I'm like, we gotta go real slow.
Man, if you had a wireless winch at the top of the hill,
I know.
you'd be
Wait a minute,
unstoppable.
I
Why-
should have left one of those stumps and just
winch.
hard mounted a fucking winch to the telephone pole and been like,
That would've
we
been-
got power forever, guys.
You just go through with your booster pack and hook it up and drag the
Oh,
excavator
yeah.
up the hill.
God
Why
damn
didn't
it.
you turn? Because the blade's mounted in the front
Yeah.
of the track.
Yeah.
So why didn't you just spin the tracks or spin 180 degrees?
Put the blade
Well, because
behind
you can't. It's hard to bring the machine up when the blade's down too. You have
Well,
to
yeah,
do it in
but
succession,
still,
like,
you
one by
could.
one.
I feel like if you were to put a blade down and move backwards, which AK would be forward, it's gonna pull more shit up and make you stop. I don't know. Whatever.
Either way, like it
Yeah.
was just enough to hold me while I lifted
Yeah.
because the arm is the only thing holding me from stopping.
Oh, yeah.
Put the blade down. That's the new brake.
that's just a parking
Lift
brake.
the
Yeah.
arm up
No, I
enough,
gotcha.
enough to extending it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, whether it's on the, I did it both ways because actually I drove down there twice. The first time I'm like, oh, it's a little sketchy. The second time I went down there was when the rain
fuck.
happened. And I'm
Wow,
like,
it's super sketchy.
this
now.
is way worse. And it's dark and I'm ready to I have probably 25. I had one stump I had to do still. So I'm like, I have maybe 20 more minutes of runtime before I'm
when
like,
you use-
I need this fucker to be on the trailer.
use 15 minutes of it.
Just
getting
getting
up
It was
the
all
hill.
of 10, yeah, because it took a while and it was like, oh, fuck.
You go to the hour meter. You're like, quick little unplug.
Oh, yeah, no, not quite.
Red flashy lights and angry.
But yeah, I did a whole lot of digging. Shia LaBeouf would be real proud.
Why?
Holes.
They dug a lot of holes.
The movie. The movie
The
Holes.
The holes movie.
Christ.
Yeah, that was a good joke. Anyway,
It wasn't. I mean, it was.
It was funny the first time.
It was all right at best.
but yeah. So that was all day yesterday.
Just digging holes.
Yeah,
What else
yeah.
do you have? You have this random picture of.
Oh, that
Holes?
was from when we went up to go pick up this trailer, and then also a couple other tolls from June.
June 14th.
June 14th was when I went to pick up my grandpa's donor truck out in Indiana.
And there's tolls.
And then October, we hit 5 tolls.
Sure did.
Haven't paid any of them.
Sure didn't.
So how much did you end up paying in tolls?
$92.95.
I mean, when they're supposed to be like a $2 toll or whatever,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. They've been emailing me for a while.
God, I hate
And I just eventually, I'm like, I should probably pay that, I guess. I'm like, wow, those add up when you don't pay them for 6
God,
months.
I
huh?
hate toll roads. It's just so
Yeah.
dumb. Let me stop and pay it right then if it's really going to be a problem.
No shit.
Put a card
I
reader
would
on.
have. It's not a fucking. It's not that bad. Yeah, card
Give me a
reader,
tap
anything.
to pay. Just I
Fucking-
woke up,
yeah,
beep,
tap
okay, I'm
pay.
through. Yeah.
God
They're
damn.
like, well,
dude.
stopping's dangerous. You're like, yeah, it is. So is putting a fucking bridge in the middle of my fucking road I have to drive through. Get that shit out of here. I hate it so much.
Fucking Illinois
Toll roads.
Today,
today,
Junior.
Junior.
Yeah.
Toll roads.
Oh, I had to. Speaking of that same kind of quote, I had to show Joe today the quote, like, I hate Illinois Nazis from Blues Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I know that quote.
Have you seen the Blues Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
surprised
don't remember.
you've
this
seen
one. I only
the
saw. I
Blues
watched. I
Brothers.
watched it from start to finish once, and that was a year. Or
They're
two
like
ago.
stuck in traffic, and they're like, "What is going on up there?" It's like, "Oh, it's the Illinois Nazi Party got their like right to protest or whatever." And they're up on a bridge, and they drive the car up on the bridge. They all jump off into the water.
I don't.
But
remember
I
this,
quoted that to
sorry.
him. He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
fair. I'm also as confused.
I'm like, finally, I've seen a movie that no one else has.
I kind of had this similar experience this week.
Of Nazis?
No,
Nazis?
so we
You
were
ran into
out
Nazis?
Hating Illinois.
No, quoting
Yes.
something and not knowing what the other
Okay.
person was talking about. So we were out in Lake Wildwood for a lid replacement,
For what?
a handhole.
Yeah.
So a handhole ran over something. They do it
My
all the time by construction
Got 'em.
equipment.
So you say there was holes?
Yes, there were holes.
Where's
And
my
so-
boy Shia when you
LaBeouf
need
is
him?
So proud.
We were just kind of trying to burn some time when we were on our way back, and Jason started talking about how we need to start putting locate pucks in all the handholes.
What does a
I
locate
need to-
puck do?
Yeah, you gave me a handful of them. I need to put one in the
In your holes that
I'm
you
gonna
dug?
do it on the corner of where my water connects, and then I'm gonna
Don't put them
one-
too deep.
It's
How deep
it'd
can
be
you put
5.5 feet. I mean, I could put it higher, I guess, but
Yeah,
yeah.
just put it higher.
Can you
Yeah.
take me higher? How high should they be? Like
High as
like
senator
couple-
socks?
Like 2 foot.
Oh no.
That's about a senator sock.
Yeah,
Couple
I'd go
feet.
like 2
Okay.
foot or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
just because,
however deep I go, I'm also still planning to backfill that, so it'll be deeper either way. It's more.
You have to remember, I
enough.
don't know how well those are going to do because usually they're screwed to a lid that's this far under the ground.
Yeah.
And it's not backfilled.
But it would be kind of nice, like you're digging the hole and you're like, I know I'm going to get close to it. Let me just.
Well,
I know here's
my uncle
where
even
it
said,
is.
he's like, we'll just put a fucking 2 or 3 foot 2x4, and then like once you're digging and hit the 2x4, you'll kind of know where
You kind of know that's your limit, yeah.
But
if we ever have to tap back into that, which ideally we
At
should.
some point you should, but we'll
so
see.
we were riding around talking about putting locate pucks in. All it is a coil with a microchip on it.
Okay.
And
like an RFID kind of thing. We're just kind of.
Yeah, it's basically a big RFID
chip,
whatever the hell you want to
I
call
love
it.
chips.
And so when you wave a wand over it, it charges the coil of wire and then charges that chip, and then it starts beeping, basically. That's all it is.
Like my smoke alarm.
Yeah. Beep.
Gotta fix that.
And he goes, man, I just wish there was like an easy way to do it, of like just to dig a hole next to it or something. And I just thought of the Jeremy Clarkson episode when they were talking about farming.
Okay.
And he pulls out a shotgun and just blows the flour away.
Yeah.
And then he's like, done. No backaches, no nothing. Just shotgun. And I was like, well, we could do that.
I've invented gardening.
Gardening.
Yeah.
Correct.
Trimming the tree branches with a shotgun.
I
It
watched.
works.
I just did.
How do you
see the
think
clip of the dude chainsaw? His chainsaw got stuck, but he had a conceal on him in the tree. He's like, saw got stuck, douche, 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 and the fucking whole branch falls, and he gets his saw.
He's like, all right.
Have you ever seen
Upgrade
when they
people. Fuck
do forestry samples? They literally take a 22 out in a rifle and
Yeah.
shoot tree branches off.
Oh, sure, to get like age samples and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
from branches.
Yep.
The other
Species samples, shit like that.
Yeah.
bugging, why not?
Like,
Whatever, man.
neat.
Bunch of cool stuff.
Hell yeah.
The only thing I left you here have here is a whiteboard of power.
This is my Jeep
not,
list,
well,
ladies and gentlemen.
Jeep. What does
First,
that say?
first of all,
'Cause I
this is his
can't
handwriting.
read.
Okay, yeah, you might have to zoom in to get any
Extra.
idea.
It doesn't get much better.
Extra
Extra.
alien bolts.
What?
Allen bolts.
Where are you reading this?
The
Down
next
below.
lower, the first
Header
That
something.
does say alien bolts. yeah.
Extra alien bolts.
3/4 inch bolts for high steer brackets. Ah, yeah.
What the
Rollover-
filler holes?
rollover fuel cell. I mean, this is all easy. Yeah.
Yeah, fuel cell hose. Yeah.
Tractor.
Tractor.
Something.
Well,
Order.
it's more. That's just like that's actually just steering. That's the steering
That's
section.
the steering box.
The next is the brakes and wheels section,
See, this is why I don't make handwritten notes.
and
I
then
type
there's
it all
the
up.
welding and etc.
Okay, this is mildly well organized.
And then this is all the big stuff.
This is all the stuff that you don't know how you're going to do it.
Bolt
Yeah.
check.
Bolt check. Lots of exclamations. Bolt check.
Oh,
I wrote this
charcoal
by
canister.
myself, expecting no one to ever see this, but I was like, I need to persuade you guys to come over, do a lot of free labor. I'm like, I should take a picture of this so we can like kind of go.
You got to
over
persuade
it.
yourself to remember to do these things.
Look, man.
Well,
you
that's
just
like
give me
like
a
my-
tool and point me in the direction.
Well, that's where I'm going with this. Is like there are so many things that like me and Brian can be doing gears, and like you can reroute my charcoal canister somewhere else
Yeah,
in the engine bay.
I need so little help.
brake
compared to him.
lines. Yeah, no, there's like not a like it's all
There's a
probably doable.
There's a lot.
I'm gonna start on it tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm insulating the bottom of the garage so that it's comfortable to work in the rest of the time we're doing this.
Today's
kind
the
of looks like a lot of
Today's
little
the 5th.
bullshit.
There's a lot of. Ideally, I have like 90% of the stuff to do this. I'm probably gonna order drive shafts this week so that they're here.
Yeah,
by
I'd
then.
get on that.
yeah, they're pretty quick.
Speaking of ordering stuff,
Did you decide where you're going to order it from?
I
Tom
don't
Woods
know.
or Adams?
I'm gonna call Tom Woods and see how far out they are.
See what
because
it is.
Adams is known to be like within a week or two for
They're
sure.
quick, but
if
not-
Tom's Woods can match it, I'm gonna probably try them.
I would.
and
I would do
ask
it just
them.
to see.
Yeah.
See what the dealio-
Also, I talked to Chris Willey, complete off-road manager, good
Dubuque,
guy.
Iowa. Great
He
guy.
runs a 1310 U joint on the transfer case on both ends. That's his fail point.
Sure.
Like-
yeah, it gives a.
I'm like,
mechanical.
honestly, I'd
failure.
rather do
That's
that than
fair.
buy another $300 in yokes.
That is.
He's got also got an LS, so he's pushing more power on the same gears and axles.
You got a 4-liter, all right.
yeah, which is half the power of any LS
but
ever.
it's some torque, not more, but it's some.
I think it is. Well, it's more than the horsepower
Yeah,
rating, but
yeah, but-
but not anywhere close to an LS.
But like
But yeah.
people do like 1310s because they are
Yes.
mildly beefy but small.
yes.
Where if, like a 1330, you're just stretching that same beef
Yeah.
out further, so
Yeah.
it breaks easier. Like,
So yeah, I might like I don't know what they can do as far as like the first joint that's on the T case, if they can do 1310 and then the other part of that double cardan
Well, you
would be a
a
1350.
1310 double cardan, and then put a 1350 on the back end of the shaft.
Well, yeah,
or 1330 or whatever it's set up for.
But yeah, so ideally
do
figure
that.
that out.
Do you know what your axles are set up for?
what? Oh,
Like what
that's
yoke?
I mean, there's only a couple of U joint sizes.
Oh, yeah,
but
I know,
ideally,
but-
yeah. Ideally, it's a
I would-
stock. It's a stock 06 F or 2500 HD.
Yeah, it probably a 13,
Cap.
but it could be like a
Yeah.
1410 or something.
Yeah,
weird.
no, I'm gonna measure it and figure it out, but
Figure out real
not a
numbers.
big deal.
Yeah,
That I'm gonna do when I get the drive shaft sizes as well, because I also need to do that.
get your length. and all that
Ideally, the
stuff.
axles shouldn't move. The one needs to go sideways a little bit because the track bar still needs to
but
get
fore
made.
and aft, it really shouldn't move that much.
Yeah, it shouldn't go forward and back much. Also, I'm gonna do extended slips and
Yeah,
everything
it's
else.
like I moved
all that
mine
jazz.
3/8 of an inch, putting this transfer case plate in, and it still fits.
Yeah,
It's a little bit closer than I'd like, but
more room for a droop.
yeah, but it doesn't droop. It squats a lot.
Fair,
So
but yeah.
if I stuff it into the case and break the case in half, then I'll just cry about it.
There's
You got
that little,
another one.
like grease retainer thing there. That's a little bit of a cushion.
It'll just, it might destroy that. I don't know. We'll see. What's the worst gonna happen?
It is your transmission mount rubber. Is it new?
I have a new rubber for it.
Okay, maybe you put that in there so when it
New rubbers
when this
are-
pushes the
Flex.
fuck out of it, it doesn't rip it off and your
Well, the
transmission
old one I
mount's
think has
broken.
one out of the 2 bolts in it.
Ah, that's a
So that's
well,
a flex point right there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
new rubbers are a lot
It's a
safer.
designated flex point. Yeah, I would trust new over old.
I don't know. Tried and true is hard to beat.
Yeah.
Lambskin.
Fucking sucks so bad.
Anyway.
Jeez, I hate
So
this.
yeah, ideally, I think I kind of told you about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get the gears done.
This weekend.
I think that's going to
Did
be
you
a
get
big.
both sets of
Yes,
gears?
the second gears. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is had Complete Off Road order me gears through Randy's Worldwide, which is Yukon, East Coast Gear Supply, all the
just
big
like a
names. It's all one
distributor?
big. It's all one
It's
big
one
company that owns
conglomerate.
every fucking
Oh, gotcha.
every gear and axe or gears.
If it's got a Yukon tag somewhere on it, it's plenty good.
They own it's one overhead company that owns all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, they forgot to ship $600 some in gears.
You'll have. It's holidays.
They
There's
sent
a lot of
the two master overhaul kits and the 538s for the 14 bolt, but I did not, and the spool did not receive the gears for the front axle. I'm like, huh,
It's fine.
fuck.
So what gears do you have right now? 373?
373s on both, yes.
Okay.
And the spool is also for it's gonna be thick cut gears for both as well.
So the spool. So your spool is a 410 and below.
Yes.
But you're using thick cut gears to make up for it.
Yes,
Why didn't you just do it right?
because that's the only thing a spool.
They
has.
didn't make a
No,
456
yeah,
plus
the spool only comes in that.
Gotcha.
So.
And it was already plenty cheap for a spool too, right?
Turns
What
out,
do you mean?
well, oh yeah, no, somebody posted in the Patreon chat. They compared a Yukon spool versus an East Coast Gear Supply or whatever the fuck it was. It was like $140, $180 was the East Coast Gear Supply, and it was $460 for the
And let me guess.
Yukon.
They're the same thing, different part.
Pretty
number.
close, I'm sure. I would have tried to see how bad the $160 one was, because I can buy that 3 times
for in a
over, but-
pinch. Yeah.
From what I've heard, it's more you're spending money on the quality assurance. It's the same start casting and stuff.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
But it's the every little bit of
Yeah.
checking and
Yeah.
warranty stuff goes with it.
But again, like
I mean, you
this
get
is
what
a-
you pay for
This
at
is
the end
a
of the day.
axle that was labeled core only because
entire
the
junk.
Govlock differential exploded in it. So like the shafts are a little mauled up, and I definitely have to spend a couple cans of brake cleaning out all the metal shavings and stuff.
You little file and re-groove all the fucking splines on your axle
We're gonna
shaft.
bash it in if we need to. I'm okay with it.
They're already in there. So
Hamner.
Well, we need to pull them out to get the diff in. Is the problem? Yeah,
And the disc have like nice clean splines that'll be tight again.
it'll be fine. I'm gonna change the oil fairly soon after this.
You're gonna have to.
at
There's
least
gonna
in the rear.
be so much gunk in there.
And then probably the front too, because it'll have welding spatter. So we're gonna buy a 5-gallon bucket of gear oil. Honestly, I probably should.
yeah, that's
cool.
Honestly,
Can I use some of it?
no, buy your own.
Dope.
Liberal. You buy one with a hand pump or a hand
Yeah.
pump
Yeah.
for it. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
like all your stuff takes the same.
I do
gear
need to
oil.
figure out where the fuck the breather is for the 14 bolt, because I don't think it has one. And
It's
if
got
it
one
doesn't,
somewhere.
if it doesn't, we need to drill and tap into it and put a T block on it for the brake
brakes.
lines, because there is no brake lines on it.
There's
at all.
nothing on
I took
that.
one fitting off of it. Like there was a hard line fitting that I cut because the brake lines were all smashed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know that's the one that threads into the rubber line that's
That
on
goes,
the axle.
goes to somewhere.
So
but
that one I need to get at least, well, probably two 2 for sure that thread into that, and then whatever else needs to make up the T-block. So
Okay.
Which I'm hoping to just get a random T-block from O'Reilly's or whatever.
I mean, yeah, you just pick one that's like
as long as they have some in stock, just a generic T-block and breather setup, whatever.
You can have the one that came off my Sterling axle.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a start.
It's not that bad a condition. It's just old at this point.
That's fine.
But I think it'd been
that's a last resort if needed. Yeah.
You're just like, hey, they don't have one that makes sense for me. It's like, here's how mine's mounted. Copy this, and it should be fine for what you do.
Yeah, no, I'll say I literally just don't know where the breather is, and I don't have the block, so we got to figure something out.
You need a hollow bolt, basically a banjo bolt, but with an open end to go through it. It's kind of a weird mount.
It's interesting. But
yeah, you just drill a hole. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Do, throw oil out of everywhere.
We're gonna figure that out over the next. Hold on, how many days? Let's count.
25 days.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, 26. 26 till the 31st.
Today is over. You're not getting anything done today.
Fair. Okay,
and one of those days is Christmas.
Yeah.
And one of those days is Christmas.
The day we're going to be driving out there.
The question is, for the Badlands trip for New Year's, are we going on New Year's proper? Or are we doing because it's on like a Wednesday or Tuesday. It's like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know. I won't have work most likely.
Yeah, I mean, I could take off whatever days, but it's like it's always happened to fall like it was like Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, this is
Monday,
interesting. Yeah, Christmas is on the Wednesday,
and New Year's is on
then
Tuesday, right?
New Year's Day or New Year's Eve is the 31st on Tuesday, and then New Year's Day is Wednesday.
So it's always been on like a Saturday, Sunday, or Monday so far.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where it's like if it's Monday, okay, it's a long weekend.
That's ask everybody else because I don't care.
Because
I tried to pin it on somebody on the Patreon. I'm like, anybody gonna set up that shit? Because I might not even make it. So
yeah,
and then no one said anything about it. I'm like, okay, this might just be a fucking 10 person
thrown together.
Whoever shows up, and we don't get a cabin.
I mean, 10 people is more than last year, honestly. Fair, I don't know if we had 10
10 total. Yeah,
came for the day and left. But
okay, talk amongst yourselves. I gotta poop.
What? Oh my god! All right, well,
Pizza Ranch coming back up.
Pizza Ranch is sneaking up on him. Hello, Blue.
So what did you do, Brian? Even though I know exactly what you did because I was there.
You were there for pretty much all of the things. So this week was working on the transfer case, getting it actually properly installed with the new
clocking plate,
clocking ring. Yes, I'm trying to think of the word for it, but yeah. So here it is installed as we saw last week. It's these countersunk bolts are where it was originally mounted, and these new studs are where it goes now. So I got this mocked up Friday before we came here. I had got an RTV on the back of it, thread locker on the studs, so that way I could tighten it without it spinning out.
Yep.
And I decided not to try to throw it in 15 minutes by myself Friday before we recorded. And you came to help me. Do you agree that was the right call to hold off and wait?
Yes, for 2 reasons.
I'd love to hear
One,
what do you have?
Because I would have let that Loctite set.
Not a bad idea, but it's right-hand studs, right-hand threads.
True, but
go anywhere.
Potato.
It's set up.
When are you ever going to take that transfer case back out?
I could take it out any time because the studs.
Let me rephrase that. When do you want to take that transfer case back out?
Ideally, never.
So might as well wait the 24 hours or 12 hours. And do it.
Theoretically, I should never need to take it out unless I break something on it.
It's not heavy.
Well, it's not light.
It is decently weighted.
It's an aluminum case,
but it's fucking awkward.
And why would you say it's so awkward?
Well, you have your input-output shaft, and then it's basically an oval.
I'll pull up a diagram of it. BW 1356, for those who didn't know, is the transfer case behind the Broncos and F350s in the 90s. Pull up a good picture of this.
So
you could see why this would be kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward.
Here's your input shaft comes through one straight line. Your output shaft for your front sticks off the side. It's pretty straightforward.
It is.
The problem is in its stock orientation, you can set the splines together, rotate it into position, and then a dowel pin, which is over here in this outer corner, snaps in. You can just line it up and push it in.
Yeah.
And it's just done. And it works. And
but with a clocking ring,
now
you can't do that.
Now there's 2 inches of stud sticking out before the splines engage. So you have to have it lined up nearly perfectly to get it to go through its holes while you've got it like dangling over your legs trying to hold this thing up.
And again, it's how heavy would you honestly say that is?
Oh, it's probably
65, 70.
I would like to say 60 some pounds. Yeah. I mean, it's hefty. It's not.
It's a hunk of mechanical working.
There's a lot of steel inside of it. How much does it weigh? It says 110 pounds.
But that's a load of bullshit.
That's what it says.
Nah.
You want to take it out and put it on the scale?
Sure.
No, fuck you.
Actually, no, we don't even need to do that. We'll just take your spare you have sitting outside and put it on
I
the
do
scale.
have several of these.
But
this, I don't know if I believe 110 pounds. It's fucking heavy, though.
We put it up on a jack.
On a floor jack.
A floor jack and raised it up, and then I ran around to the other side and kind of, while you were holding it-ish in place, I
kind of
seated it. I had a harder time bolting the studs through the transmission.
Getting the nuts on the studs. People say 90 to 100 pounds. It's fucking heavy.
I would consider it 90.
Your whole transfer case?
My transfer case, yeah.
Yes.
This guy.
Yes. Heavy, awkward,
we were guessing
like
70. I looked it up. It's like 110 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
With fluid,
I'm
strong.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I leaked half the fluid out.
Yeah.
Fair.
So I don't know about how much is in there still, but they are fucking heavy.
So we put a floor jack underneath, raised it up. You kind of mostly positioned it in place.
I sat underneath it and balanced it flat.
Yeah.
Because normally trying to pick it up on a floor jack, the whole thing's got weird tabs sticking off it.
So did you one shot figure out the orientation you wanted all your studs in? Because you had
I did the orientation before I thread locked everything in, so I knew where it would fit. I'd already pre-dented the floor up to make it fit.
Gotcha.
So I knew where it was going. So when I put the threads in last week before we recorded, I already had the dimensions figured out of where it was going to drop at. So this was last week before we recorded. So these were already thread locked, and I knew this was the right spacing.
Yeah. Yep.
All we had to do was get it in there, which is hard because it's apparently 100 pounds.
Awkward.
Yeah, fair. Oh yeah, it's an awkward 100 pounds.
Now, mind you, Brian was in a lot
more awkward.
I'm like
position,
half crisscross applesauce straddling the floor jack that's coming in sideways to balance this 100-pound thing,
while also holding your knee up so you have something to put your arm up against to brace it. And I'm just there like, okay, all right, let's go here.
I'm like, okay, scoot it in. You're like, where? I'm like, in. Just move the jack in. I don't know what else to
I wanted
tell
to make
you.
sure that the splines were correctly engaged before we started to force it.
Or just jam this thing together.
And it's so hard to see because your transmission cross member is basically right at the end of
where
your
this
transmission.
flange goes.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like one-eyed, like trying to look backwards up at it, and
Trying to look like
I
through-
think it's kind of in there. Go ahead and push a little, and it moved, and I'm like, you're fine. Send it.
Yeah. We got like one tack, and then it's like push it,
Thunk.
like clunk right in. It's like,
Thank
good.
fuck.
I'm like, no,
It's gonna hold itself.
I'm like, please move this floor jack to the tail housing so I can get out of here. 'Cause of course, I've been like, resting my elbow on my knee to push it up, which is then pulling my like inner groin apart.
Oh yeah.
So I go to stand up and it's just burning. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I hurt a lot.
Yeah, we got that in.
The end result was improvement. So here's an old picture. I didn't take like a good preview beforehand.
Oh yeah.
But you can see how low this hangs.
4 or 6 inches lower than the frame rail.
Here's my frame rail. Like the midpoint of the case is at the frame rail at this point.
I would even say a little above the midpoint.
More or less. But
yeah.
You can see everything. All these lines are crooked and pointed down pretty aggressively. And then here is it clocked.
Nice.
Straight.
So now it's
How it should be.
how it just should be. Yeah, I don't know why it has to be at such an aggressive taper for a stock height truck.
Yeah. Weird.
But now it is basically perfectly flat, which I think is pretty neat. I like having shit out of the way and not dangling way down. So that was Saturday. That was the first thing Saturday.
Yeah.
Because Friday you was like, oh, I'll come help you. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then you called me at like noon. Hey, I just woke up. What are you doing? Working on the truck? Need help? Yeah. Okay. And you rolled in. Yeah. It was like 1 o'clock when you got there. So it probably took an hour by the time we got it in place and then threaded all the nylocks on.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Which means you could thread them about one turn and they're tight.
Well, and then on top of that, what was the wrench we used? I forget the name of those.
A ratcheting wrench?
Yeah.
Oh, or the ratchet.
The socket.
It's
pass
a
through.
through ratchet.
Yeah.
And so you're either hitting the exhaust, the transmission cross member, or the floorboard. So I know on the top bolt on my side, which would be the passenger side, I had 2 clicks of the ratchet, and that was it.
Yeah, you were just like tapping it, like barely moving it.
So I literally sat there on my side, just jangling my arm for 10 minutes.
Bouncing up and down, like barely moving these guys.
Yeah, them.
A go through socket sets.
Which, speaking of that, which was kind of funny. So
these
when
are
I
all
was
hollow on the backside. So you actually you snap it in with this little stud.
Yeah.
And you can go all the way through a stud with it, so it's not bottoming out.
When I was doing the top bolt, the whole time my arm was rubbing up against your exhaust. I have a small bald spot on my arm now where it pulled all the hair out.
all the hair off back and forth,
I got in the shower that day and I'm like, what the? Why does this feel weird? And I like look down, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm missing hair.
Oh, my skin is gone. Yeah, they're made to be bolts that go in from the front, not studs that come out from the back.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
So there's not a lot. Those studs could have been a little shorter, but the countersunk bolts they sent me, like 2 of them are long, 3 of them are medium length, 2 of them are short. I only needed 6. They sent me 7. Like, it's a good kit that's probably good for a lot of different cases.
You should have put the short one on the bottom driver's side.
I don't know.
Because that's where we had, the little...
A strong hand?
Yeah, my strong hand.
Yeah. Well, the studs were all the same length. Just the bolts that go into the case.
I got you. What the fuck?
I don't know. It's fucking wacky.
It's stupid.
One flange that can do a bunch of things is kind of it's going to be weird.
Akko Taco.
So
Yeah, we did that.
That was Saturday until we went to Pizza Ranch.
And I almost
Sunday
had a conniption fit trying to do your front passenger side shock.
Sunday I did a whole lot of fuck all because I'm tired, and that was the big one. So I get like a minute break. So all I did Sunday was fuck with transfer case linkage because now that I moved it, I don't know, 3 inches up, the shift lever has now changed position drastically.
Fair.
So while we got it in there, the stock shift lever, or like linkage that connects the lever to the transfer case, fit on. And we're like, is this just going to work? Like, maybe it was low before, now it's high at the same distance.
Okay.
It did not.
Okay.
It would shift between on the shift lever in the cab, it'd shift between 2 high and 4 high.
Yeah.
But connected to the case, that was actually 4 low and neutral.
So
it was very deceiving.
Yeah. It does work, but not in the orientation
it was a very
good.
It felt good. It's like, why is this not working? So then we fucked with it a whole bunch and like figured out like, oh, it's actually in 4 low, not 2, and it's backwards, whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I had to customize some linkages and stuff. So I just took pictures of it while I was working just for funsies. But here's the old shift lever and stuff. I kept the same lever because I'm not buying a fucking steel rod. But here's the old transfer case linkage. I believe it's just a gigantic glob of silicone.
Probably.
Fair.
Don't know why.
Or body seam sealer?
Because it's clear-ish and it's kind of squishy. I think someone put it on here, but this bolt is what holds it in there.
Okay, yeah.
It looks like a weird Torx, but it has actually hexes on the outside, so it actually was
weird.
It actually came out really nice. Yeah. I didn't have to deal with no bullshit. Here's the bolts up close. These bolts are not the same.
Why would they be?
Why would the replacement part be the same thread and
what did
size?
you buy this on purpose? Or like you expected to replace this or what?
So the shift linkages for these trucks, you have to like move it backwards, push it down to get to neutral, and then like you have to move it up and down.
Yeah.
This is what controls all the up and down movement. So on the good one, because it's hard to see on the bad one.
Yeah, I see a
these
rubber bushing
boots?
that's supposed. Yeah, that all moves.
There's a stud on the back here. As you push it down, it's what goes around the teeth that ratchet it in and out of place.
Yep.
So it's kind of an awkward. So I'm like, I'll just replace it because I don't know how good it is. Well, it turns out it looks like this.
Yeah,
whatever.
Looks like shit.
Whatever.
Looks
that
like
is.
somebody
the boot
tried
did go to
to
shit
redo a boot.
Somebody just threw.
Well, it was a
silicone
plow
on it.
truck, so they actually fucking went from 2 to
Shifted
4 a lot.
Probably all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looked like actually garbage.
Oh, by the way, I love your tool.
Oh, my hub turner.
I had to do that for pulling the tree. Oh yeah, like we to drop those trees. Matt, we threw a rope on it and then did a snatch block on a tree like over by the fire pit.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I would have my truck. My truck was basically right next to the trees when it started to fall. So I'm like, just throwing this out here, Matt. Everything I've ever owned and bought is within falling distance of this tree right now.
Like, I know
he's like, so you're nervous? I'm like, I'm just letting you know.
I know you're a professional.
That this is how much is on the line. Like, he's like, oh, but I've done this. I'm like, I know you have, but that's your
I'm
shit.
shitting myself right now.
That's your shit. I'm just letting you know.
Please don't ruin my stuff too.
Like just throwing that out there. And like, he dropped them like the
You're
first
insured,
one,
right?
The first one,
Technically.
The first one was kind of in the way of a big tree, and it kind of hit some of the branches on the way down, so it moved
like
over.
rolled
It dropped
a little
probably
bit.
8 feet different than what we thought it was
Yeah.
going to. The second one, which is the closer one to the garage, had a free fall, and it went perfect. Like dropped right onto the other one. Like could not have been better.
Nothing to
when it
worry
landed,
about.
almost all the branches broke off on the ground, so they're already up on the brush pile, like already cleaned up.
Just worked absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, I got a guy. Matt didn't want these two, so I got a different guy coming out who wants the wood. I'm like, perfect. I don't even have to fucking cut it.
Cut it up, take it, do whatever.
Perfect. I should probably tell him all the fucking shit at the bottom of the hill too. Like, have fun. If you can get it down,
You
from
can
down
get it,
there,
you can have it.
fun.
Yeah. If you want it, it's there.
Yeah.
So what do you
But,
need the hub tool for? What were you
pulling the tree?
that
I didn't want to risk like not getting traction, so I'm like, let's do that
before you dig a hole? Yeah.
and then turning the 4-wheel drive on to get out of the hole that the trailer got stuck in last night. I'm like, yep, let's fucking click those on and do the fucking get out of this fucking bullshit.
Compared to reaching into a little dish with your fingers and
Yeah,
trying to
and they're all cold because it's been miserable the last 2 days. I'm like,
nasty.
Yeah, no, I'm like, thunk, done.
so easy.
Yeah,
Nice.
very happy with that. So
Yeah, no, they turn out really good. I need to make some more of those and distribute them.
correct. But yeah, so yeah, good old 4-wheel drive. But yours is hopefully better
Mine is-
now.
yeah,
Did you have to
getting-
modify this? I'm assuming.
No, I just switched the bolts. The bolts for each one, or you mean this part itself?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, because
So
it was a
this-
little different because you clocked it now.
No, because there's a linkage that goes between them.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Okay.
I modified.
Okay.
Because this goes into a little ratcheting thing.
I see.
So
what you
here's
did.
the shift rod that goes between them.
Yeah,
The obviously welded in rod in the middle is the addition.
yeah.
Turns out this like steel stamped piece with 2 bushings in it, they don't make it anymore. Doesn't
fuck?
exist.
Do they make replacement bushings for it at least?
No.
Technically, no. They make bushings that are a transmission like shifter bushing.
Oh, yes, I
and
know.
it looks just like
Yes.
these.
Yes. Those are
These-
plastic. I didn't know if they were metal.
There's some sort of
These
like
are like
Delrin-ish.
plastic.
Okay.
The bushing, yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I bought
consider
a-
these like old school Delrin.
I don't know.
Maybe some sort of
I don't know if I
O-ring-ish.
said it much, but when I got done with my grandpa's truck,
Mm-hmm.
I was driving it a little bit. Well, I had to pop the cable off the transmission a couple times. Well,
It popped
cracked
off
it.
on its own.
Well, I siliconed it because I'm like, it'll work. Like it'll stay on there. How
This is
much
not
does
going
it
to
have
be my
work?
problem.
Yeah. Well, then turns out it was because I drove it for 3 weeks before it sold, and it kept popping
became-
off a lot. And I'm like, really hard to do yard work because like you can't shift it into neutral into park. I don't even want to touch the fucking parking brake cable. Like it's a 20-year-old truck.
Yep.
Fuck that.
You do
Yeah.
that, and hey, the one time you need the parking brake, it's going to be like, ha, okay.
Yeah.
And you're
Never
like, all right,
letting
I'm
go.
done.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
connected.
I'm
and
done.
Never
Yeah.
breaking loose now.
Yeah. So I'm like, it sucked because I was like pulling trees and shit and doing a bunch of stuff with that truck, and I was like, cool.
You're like, this
Every time I have to fucking like
You're playing Russian
roll
roulette
under it.
with
Yeah,
your
roll under
transmission.
it. Well, I had to shut the truck off so that like when I eventually shifted it into park and then
It
put the
would-
cable on
yep.
it, like I'm like, yeah, this all kind of sucks.
Safety-ish.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I had to replace that little fucking plastic bushing, but I bought a miscellaneous kit of them from O'Reilly's. I'm like,
Sure.
perfect. One of these will work.
One of these will be close enough.
Yeah. So
But I didn't end up replacing these. I just like with all this weld heat, I would just weld one like seam and just dunk it in the plasma tank. Yeah. Not the actual weld, just all the rubber part. But-
yeah. Just to keep it cool.
So to like figure out the distance, I did a CAD cardboard aided drafting.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
My type of
I
shit.
just drilled a hole in one side and then paint marked the other stud
Yeah.
and just
Yep.
stuck it on there.
Yep.
I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, it worked amazing. And then I'm like looking at it and like trying to figure it out. I'm like, why does this number seem wrong?
Yeah.
Because it was like eyeballing it up, like it's about an inch longer than the old one, whatever. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, why is this 2 inches longer? I was measuring it with the transfer case in neutral
And the stick not
the shifter
neutral?
in 4 low.
Yeah.
So it was 1 inch further apart. I'm like, why is this not right? I'm like, fuck. I mean, all right, do it again.
Well, thank God you did it then instead of building
Yeah.
this to be like,
That's an inch too long.
Son
to
of a
cut it
bitch,
apart.
yeah.
So I crossed out my mark, dyed it again, put it on there. I'm like, that makes way more sense. Went back to the shop, welded it together. I purposely keyed this a little bit. If you look at
I kind of
Yeah,
see.
I kinda
it's
noticed
dug out.
that.
one side's flat, one side's probably at 10 degrees of like rotation on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because with the case clocked up, it rotates the shift lever from where it used to be flat.
Yeah.
Now it's pointed back up a little bit at a
So
weird.
you took a little bit of stress out of
give a
there.
little bit of preload in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
That's it on that. You know,
Hell yeah.
seemed to work pretty good, and there it is,
Oh,
all
beautiful.
snapped into place. I threw some black paint on it because
Why not?
No one will ever see this either way.
fuck them, why
But,
not? Yeah. But you can
Nice.
see it's like here's the shift lever on the case. Here's the little ratchet shift dealio on the bottom.
Yep.
I think the next picture shows the teeth. So this is how the transfer case shifts.
Ah, yes.
So you see where the stud is
okay.
sticking through? This pocket is 4 low.
Yeah.
You press it down to get out of it. This little standoff is neutral.
Yep.
You pull it forward, hits this stop. Here is 4 high.
Yep. And then all the way
here's
that
2
way
high.
is- Yep.
Gotcha.
So to get out of high range, you have to press it down, go through neutral, and then you could pop into low. It's kind of a weird.
It's simple, but I like that. Like it's
exactly. It's simple.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be some crazy complicated thing.
Oh
It's
my
just
God,
a piece of steel.
can you look up a stock Jeep Cherokee?
Oh,
Have you ever
transfer case linkage?
remember looking at it?
I didn't have to replace mine
The
ever.
stock version of it fucking sucks, and I guarantee we'll see an upgraded version of it.
Oh, I know there's several upgrades.
Yeah, that's the upgraded. That's simple.
What
No,
the Yeah,
no,
hold
on.
no.
I need to find the shitty.
There's a comparison
is it
over
this
the
guy.
left. Yes.
What the fuck?
Hold on,
This
open-
is the upgrade. Notice how every fucking one of these is an aftermarket upgrade.
That looks so
Look at the
fucking
difference here.
over-designed.
That's because it's
Why?
a Chrysler product.
That's Chrysler from 1984 to
Good
2001.
Lord.
So can you explain what all these levers do?
Don't know
Exactly.
They got all fucked up, and I put the simple one on it.
The simple one is infinitely better.
Yeah, pretty
There's
much.
a dozen companies that make this exact same upgrade.
Yeah.
Because this shit's so bad.
It looks just weak and shitty.
Yeah,
it's
also like mounted to the floorboard and like this and that. There's
Yeah.
shit going
and packs
everywhere.
full of dirt and
Like
gunk. And
when I like, and that's like it took me
Good
like
Lord.
3 trips of like I'm like I know I got to put it on because it kind of starts to pop out of low, like whatever this that. Like I know I need to get rid of it, but at the same time I'm like it looks so scary.
Look at all
I
this
don't want to. I don't even want to
nonsense.
fuck with it because it
Looked like
works a
some
little bit.
Edward Scissorhands ass shit.
just some stuff. Like this looks like somebody homemade rigged it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's factory.
But this is just how it is.
Oh
it's some
my
just
God.
garbage ass fucking
Yeah, that looks like shit.
versus I don't know. Let me just look at this
A
picture.
simple two-way linkage.
Oh, well,
small, but
small
yes.
picture,
Small.
but you get the idea. It's just rod connected, done, unbelievably easy,
Good Lord.
simplified.
So there's that.
Yeah. So that's the linkage that you started dealing with compared to what I had. Mine was
Yeah.
already pretty good.
Yeah.
Just with like a little ratchet popping.
Yep.
The XJ1 is in the shifter like lever path is where you ratchet it. Where mine is
Okay,
underneath it because mine's just a rubber boot on top.
Yep.
So it's the same kind of idea.
Yep.
But my gates are on the bottom of the shifter. Yours is on the top. That's why you can get away with some wacky linkage like this.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. But yeah, no, yours looks good. It's
Turn-
simplified. Fucking should work well, I hope.
Yeah. Put it all together. It's like, okay, does it shift through all the gears?
Fair, yeah.
It's like, because while we were fucking with it by hand, like trying to turn that lever with
yeah.
no mechanical advantage.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Sucks, especially when you're trying to change low to high range. Because mine's like a 2.7 to 1 ratio. So it's actually turning a lot of
Yeah.
angle.
Yeah.
It's not like a 1 to 1.5 where it's pretty close. So kind of slip in. Like, so I have Marcus like standing on the rear axle, turning the wheels by hand.
Yeah.
As I'm just like pushing on this thing. Like, it's like,
Yep.
I'm like, maybe it'll go. And finally, I'm like, okay, it does work. But
Yeah. Yep.
put this linkage in, pop, 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 works fine.
Nice.
A little mechanical
good.
advantage will really help that. So,
Hell yeah. Is that all your pictures, basically?
and then I think there's just one more of just like, here's the side profile after.
oh, yeah.
You can see one
This is with
little,
the case in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see one little dib.
Yeah.
way more
dimple.
better.
The lowest part is the transmission mount
Yeah.
and the
And then,
transmission pan.
shortly before that, the pan.
Yeah.
So.
So I'm going
Well,
to do.
and then before all of that, you have both your fucking axles.
I have leaf springs
Yeah.
up until the
yeah.
pan.
So
Yeah.
you got plenty of room.
Yeah. So ideally, I make some skid plates in here and kind of beef this up
Yeah.
because I would like to. This transmission mount is already halfway rusted through.
Yeah.
There's like a lower part that bolts and an upper part. Well, the lower part's rusted through.
Yeah.
So I should rebuild that anyway.
Yeah. While you're at it, make some.
While I'm
make
doing
it,
that, I
make
make
it
a-
nice and tie it all into the frame.
Make a transfer case skid, make a
Yep.
transmission skid-ish, maybe. Might be able to make something out of that. But
Gotcha.
yeah, that was more or less where I'd gotten to this week because Monday morning, well, to back this up just a hair, it's like Saturday or something. I brought my booster pack because it's been sitting in the backseat of my truck since I went to Wisconsin for the
Oh
rally.
yeah.
And I'm like, my uncle was in looking for one of them, but it was in Dad's truck and he was gone. I'm just like, I don't know, whatever. So I'm like, I'll bring mine over there because I don't need it.
Yeah.
All my stuff here is like nice and new and just works.
Fair. Yeah.
I'm like, I'll bring it here where there's tractors and stuff that never start.
right.
Monday morning, I go to open my truck, won't unlock. Hit the button on my key, doesn't unlock. Open the door with my actual key. Lights don't come on.
Huh.
I'm like, is this thing fucking
I mean,
dead?
it is a... Like,
a
I replaced
5-year-old
my
battery.
my
5-year-old
batteries
battery.
in my truck already, so yeah.
I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, I just opened it like Saturday to get the booster out, and it worked fine.
Yeah.
I popped the door open, with the touch sensors on it.
Cold.
Slid it out, put it back in,
Yep.
And then Monday I go to like throw my floor mat back in there because it's been in my car bouncing
Yeah.
around. Because when I went to rally, all my feet were muddy and
Oh,
shitty.
yeah.
So when I switched to my tennis shoes, I took that out, threw it in the Honda. So I'm like, I don't care if that gets muddy. Finally, the mud had dried up and stuff. I'm like, I should probably put it back in the truck
Right. Yeah.
instead of wiping my feet on the carpet,
Yeah.
So I go to throw that in there Monday morning before work.
She done
dead.
did.
I'm just like,
Fuck.
I'm like, you're
Some
kidding me,
bitch.
right? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll check it after work because it was early. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm like, maybe it's just the computer's freaking out. It's stuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'll multimeter the battery. Maybe it's fine. I just need to pop the cable off.
Mm-hmm.
3.8 volts. I'm like, oh, she's dead. I'm like,
Sad and angry.
it gave up immediately. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh shit. I'm like, of course it's I don't know, 4 degrees outside at this point. So I'm like, I need to take this out. This would be Monday after work. I'm like, I gotta take this out like right now because it's like snowing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to drive the Fiesta around in the snow if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Because it's probably really scary.
True.
So I'm like, all right, take the battery out. It's just there's cables that go onto the battery from all sides.
Yes.
Like a little block.
So you can't move it out of the way enough to get the
Yep.
battery
So
out.
you have to undo like a little electrical connector and then a fucking 8-gauge cable and then this and then that. And there's no room to move the cables away, so they're just falling back on the battery. And I'm like, finally get all it apart. The hold down is like a seatbelt strap almost. With like a flat bolt. As you tighten it, it pulls the strap tight.
Weird.
I'm like, give me a J-bolt. This is so stupid. Like, I get it. You want to be all like cool, and there's a little cover on the battery to protect. No, keep it simple. I finally popped this thing out, and I'm assuming just by looking at it, you can tell this thing's probably fucking expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So this is an AGM battery, not lead acid.
Oh.
So absorbed glass mat is like, you can mount it in technically any orientation.
Yep.
Other than
Does
upside
not
down,
matter.
Yeah.
Which doesn't matter because it's in the engine bay of a truck. It's a higher quality battery technically. I'm like, oh, I can't just like throw a cheap replacement here. Like, it's going to be expensive no matter what. It's not that bad. It's $265.
Oh, I mean,
It's a lot.
comparatively, I have $1,100 in batteries in my truck.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well, you
they're
have 2 of them.
they're
Fuck
$550 a piece.
Yeah, but it's like for a Ranger, I'm like, this battery's like 50 pounds.
Or wait, no. I think that was the 6-liter I spent because
Well,
that
you
was
got
for
Optimas.
Optimas. I think it was like
That were-
$750 or $850
Yeah.
maybe.
Good
So,
Lord.
but still, yeah,
The Optimus
three
were
or
basically
four,
worthless anyway.
yeah, $300 or $400 a piece for the fucking Ford brand for the new truck. Yeah,
So conveniently, it's like I had to take my boss to Shimmer on Tuesday to drop off. We were dropping off both trucks to get like oil changes, tire rotated and stuff.
The
He's
work
like,
trucks?
yeah, both work trucks. So I'm like, they were going to drive both trucks. They needed a ride. I'm like, perfect. Like, I'll drive. I can get my battery just from Ford.
yeah,
Because it's like, it's an expensive AGM. The one at O'Reilly's is still $250. Like,
Yeah.
They're all
Ooh,
the
I
same.
spent
you,
$10
at least you
more.
put Ford brand
Yeah.
parts in it, like whatever.
Yeah, that's
So we just
fair.
ran up there, got myself a nice new shiny battery.
36-month warranty.
Yeah. Fucking, all right. 800 cold cranking amp for a 2.3
Holy
liter.
shit!
Fucking hell.
Does that help tell you how big this battery is?
God damn.
800 cold cranking amps for a 2.3 liter.
Hold on, I want to look this up real quick.
What are you going to look up?
Look up the battery for a 2012 Impala.
Oh.
Holy
It's
fuck, dude.
it's a shockingly large battery.
That's nuts.
Of course, like the guy at Shimmers is like, what is this out of? Like, oh, it's like out of my Ranger, this and that. He's like, they put this big of a battery
Was
in
it the
there?
younger kid who's in the parts department? Or?
He's probably high
30s,
30s,
yeah,
high 30s,
yeah,
late
yeah.
40s. Kind of a, scruffy beard guy, but
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's
I think there was another guy like behind him
Okay,
that looked
yeah.
probably a little bit younger, but he's like, they put this in the fucking Ranger. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, I bet that was a lot of fun to get up over the fender. I'm like, oh, my truck's lifted
Yep.
too. You have no idea. Trying to work outside in the dark at 4 degrees. Like, I would undo a couple of bolts and then walk back inside and kind of warm my
you
hands
poor
up.
thing.
Because I don't have, you can't use insulated gloves because there's no room to reach
yeah.
in anything. So I've just got my regular like cut-proof work gloves.
Yep.
I'm like, this sucks so bad.
Oh yeah.
Got my fucking couple $100 battery. Mm-hmm. Drove the boss man and the other guy back from dropping the trucks off because it dropped them off and picked them up later.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, give him the sauce. Give him the Fiesta.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Get shift into third, lay into it, straight to the limiter. I'm like, all right, it's 11 degrees outside.
Fair, yeah.
I
like to scare you, but
how
this
many
is
cold
it.
cranking amps?
800 for a 4-cylinder.
Most cars are like
for my
6.
Yeah.
for my V6 Impala,
3-liter V6 or 3.6 or whatever.
I think 3.8.
3.6 or 3.8.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know. Not a 3.8 though.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
3.6.
Yeah.
It's fuck. Hold on, I accidentally backed up.
Jesus Christ.
It's
Memory of a gnat.
Huh?
Who? Where?
It's $750.
Yeah, for your like
For a V6, an older
old
V6.
yeah, versus
And
my,
you got a
that's
little
like
four
my
banger.
modern
Yeah.
4-cylinder is like, how about 800 amps?
A modern 4-cylinder also
I
with
mean,
like
but
an even higher like
when you
speeded
really-
starter and everything.
When you
like,
really think about it, the more technical cold cranking amps the battery has, and the less you use, the more
life cycle.
life
essentially.
cycle. You're not putting a heavy duty cycle on the battery every single time.
But I realized what you need this much battery for.
Why?
My cooling fan's so fucking loud.
Oh, that's fair as
They're just-
fuck.
it's got to be like a 30 amp.
yeah, that's a
fan.
big draw.
Yeah.
It's so fucking
It's like your
loud.
Volvo when you have in your truck.
That's why the one in my Ranger's so fucking loud. I
Yeah.
hate that fan.
Sounds
but
like a Super Duty fan.
It does.
I think it spools the same way. It just goes straight to limit and then
Yeah.
tapers down. But
Yep, pretty much.
so yeah, he's like, I can't believe they put this in there. I'm like, that's what's in there.
The
It's
fuck?
fucking heavy. So yeah, spun the Fiesta
Wow.
in third straight to the limit. I'm like,
Hell
well,
yeah.
all
With
right.
extra weight
With
in
an
the car
extra 2
too.
people in it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
damn. I'm like, this thing's kind of cool, but not right now.
Yeah.
Like if I need like power, I'm just gonna die. It's over.
Your boss sat in the front seat.
He sat in the back.
I was gonna say like Eric's pretty
has-
tall.
Eric
like
has legs.
Yeah, I'm like God, like that's a rough
course, it's
fucking
like-
back. Me and Nick sat in the back seat. It wasn't like horribly uncomfortable.
No, it was
It's
me
like,
and you who
boy.
sat in the
Or,
back
oh
seat.
yeah,
Nick
yeah.
sat in the front, yeah, but
Yeah, I'm like, oh boy, that's
my
interesting.
knees were kissing the
Yeah.
front
It's-
seat the whole time.
it's cozy.
It's
Yeah.
cold. I wasn't uncomfortable.
Andy got to ride in it for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Friday,
Oh,
Saturday,
you
whatever.
guys took that to pizza?
Oh yeah. Well, I couldn't take my truck. It was fucking dead. Apparently.
Maybe if you would have driven it.
I fucked off like half the day Sunday. I could have done all this
Oh yeah.
then.
Yeah. Well,
then-
Shimmers would have been closed.
Yeah, I know, but I could have like gotten it out and whatever. But it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Sunday's a rest
went all
day.
the way to Peoria. There was a Focus RS. I made angry noises at it.
Yeah.
you
Or
beat
was there
him?
something else? Too?
There was a Mini Cooper.
Mini Cooper. Yeah.
Like, so
it was like silver with orange.
it might
Like
have been like a light blue. It was a
yeah, it
weird-
was a weird color combination, but like
basically it's like we turned onto like their main road there. I was supposed to take the exit and I didn't because I
Yeah,
wasn't paying
oh well.
attention. So I had to go to a stoplight, turn around, and come back.
at
Then I had
that
to-
same stoplight, they're taking a right turn to like merge with us. Like we were gonna be in the left lane. They were gonna be in the
Smoke 'em,
right.
boys.
And I was like, if this is like a John Cooper Works Mini that has a
might be-
supercharger and S, you
It
know,
might be
something
kinda
cool.
And it's
And,
like,
like-
I had to get to the off ramp that's like a half a mile down the road and I had to cross
2
my
lanes of
lane,
traffic,
lane that's
yep.
merging into me and get into the outer lane.
So you gave her
Yeah.
the beans, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
And
I was like, does he want to play? No, he's gay.
shh, gone. He's
Yeah.
like, nah, he didn't want none.
Yeah,
he
then
didn't
on
realize
the way
there was any to give.
on
Yeah.
like the big 2-lane going home, like just before we leave Peoria,
There's
he,
like a gas
he looks
station
over, he's
on the
like,
right.
ooh.
I go blue.
Yeah, he
He's
says
like,
blue. I'm like, there's like a Chevy 1500 in dark blue. I'm like, yeah, it's a nice color. What about? And then he's like, no, blue. I'm like, oh, Focus
The-
RS next to.
Oh,
There was
there
something
was like
else.
a Challenger or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was like a wide body Challenger or something. I was like, oh, maybe
the
they want to
Focus
play.
RS blue is unbelievably recognizable.
that is a very
Under
nice
gas station
blue.
light, it was
Yeah.
like fucking electric blue.
Yeah, like I see this color. I'm like blue. He's just like, what? Like he must have just missed it. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
right there. I can see it.
Yeah. Then we creep forward like 2 feet, and I'm like, that blue.
Yeah.
And then like he starts like the RS starts leaving the gas station in a hurley, like right as like,
As
we're
my
leaving the stop
stoplight
sign,
turns.
and we're just kind of on it. And I'm like, I hope he catches up. I hope
For
he
the love
catches
of
up.
God, please.
I want a street race in Peoria so bad.
It would be like in the moment, I'm like, oh, he'd probably just beat me. I'm like, thinking about it now, I'm like, it would be a lot closer than I thought.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I was like, brother,
Built
it
versus
might
stock?
be
Well,
good.
A stock Focus RS is 350 horsepower at the crank.
Weighs 30.
Weighs probably 3,400 pounds. It's got all-wheel drive, some stuff. It's a little bit bigger.
Okay, all-wheel drive.
My car weighs 2,800 pounds, I
Okay.
think, and makes 320 maybe at the crank.
Yeah,
But
it was
weighs
cold for sure.
Several hundred pounds less. I'm just like,
Yeah.
this might actually be kind of interesting.
And it was warmer-ish then. It wasn't absolutely miserable yet.
I had enough traction, it would have been interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like,
or you would have smoked the tires and he would have thought it was fucking dope.
He thought it was pretty
He'd been
cool.
like, God damn, that thing's tuned up,
like,
brother.
as I took off, he started moving quicker coming out of the gas station. I'm like, please? And then just never saw him again.
Yeah, I was like, oh, no.
Like, that would have been so much fun just to play with it. I don't want to play with my food before I eat it.
Or before I get stomped on.
Before I get, it's like, oh, it's a big turbo Focus RS. It's 500 wheel. Like, oh, shit. Whatever, man. Sorry about you. But yeah. I think that was all the work I got done because that would have been Tuesday. I got the battery, put it in Tuesday night. I just drove to the house, put the linkage on, and drove back in it just to like make sure everything's working fine. Yeah. Pulled up the engineering test screen in the truck to see what the voltages were. And if you hold the OK key on the left side of the steering wheel while you turn it on, it'll pull up the like test menu.
Oh, that's good to know.
Neat.
So you can see like all your voltages and stuff and check stuff.
I should do that. Yeah. I mean, I have my fucking Easy Link plugged in, so I have check it more than the fucking Ford one does.
But I got back from that. I'm like, I should probably check that stuff now. And looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Of course, going from my Econo box hatch to my lifted truck, I'm just like, brain hurt. I don't like it. It's because it's roughly the same interior.
Yeah.
But now I'm 4 foot higher. I'm just like,
and with
it's weird,
fucking crazy tint.
Yeah, honestly, the headlights on the Ranger are so fucking bright. I can see better out of the Ranger with 35 on the windshield than I can in the Fiesta with 70 on it.
Yeah, we were fucking with the fog lights and everything going down there. I'm like, don't you like hate the lights and this and that? And we kind of like start fucking with them for a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, they are pretty ignorant.
I'm like, they're like the brights are okay, but I'm like, the fogs are where it's at. And you're like, really? And I was like, pop them. You're like, Jesus.
I'm like,
Christ.
wow, I can see every single like blade of grass in the ditch over there.
What bulb is your headlight or your fog lights?
My fog lights are some sort of aftermarket, like rally design off-road, like Baja LED pod, like a 4 bulb.
Oh, that's right. They're not the factory.
No, they're not factories.
So I want to say my headlight and yours something on the Fiesta is the same bulb because I have an H1.
My headlight, low and high beam are both H1 bulbs.
Okay.
My low beam is a projector housing.
Gotcha.
So it has a good cutoff. My high beam is just in an open housing.
Yeah.
I could have converted to one with like the fan on it, like a really like a fancy LED,
like
a headlight revolution or something.
After doing a couple of different LEDs, I'm not a fan of the fans.
I know. I didn't.
I fucking hate fan LEDs.
I didn't want one.
I like the passive cooling.
Buy a good one.
Yeah,
I have bought good ones.
Yeah, $250 for a set.
Those headlight revolutions that still work.
Yeah,
wherever they're at
ignorantly
now.
ADV Monster, which isn't a thing anymore, which sucks.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a reason.
But
no,
headlight revolution's been around for like
still around,
15 years.
Well,
and
ADV Monster was killed by.
Oh yeah, the Crown Vic had them too.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Well, I bought. It's
you bought so many
H7s and H11s for the Cobra. Because it was the fogs and heads. So I had like $500 in bulbs in the Cobra. Got rid of it literally 2 weeks later. So never even really got to use those. And then the Cobra or the Crown Vic had like right there H1 SV4s. It was in that same box.
These kind of guys.
Yeah.
I just don't like fans because it's just one more thing to go wrong, and then you have to worry about clearance.
Well, considering the Cobra or the Crown Vic has been underwater multiple times and like in ditches and shit, like I pretty much beat the fuck out of these as much as possible, and they were perfectly fine. So
yeah, mine were like $40. I probably could have gotten something better, but I'm just like, I just want to get any sort of light because
for me, I was working second shift at the time. I'm like, I use these all the time, every day. I do 80 mile an hour down the interstate. Like, I want to be able to see shit all the time.
Yeah, I want as much light as I can get.
Yeah, mostly it was like, I want the best low beam. That way when the high beam's on, it's like ignorant.
Yeah, it's like, this is what I probably should have bought or something.
Yeah.
Like a proper full kitted, like has a resistor, big LED. It'd be a little bit brighter, but I mean, $200 versus like the $40 I spent. It's fine.
For your Fiesta, you're saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because the ones in the truck are retarded. They're so bright. I swear they would X-ray a cow if it was standing in the road. But yeah, going from the very lightly tinted car to the dark tinted truck, I'm like, these lights are so much brighter. It doesn't even matter.
The back of the Subaru is black. It's 5%.
Yeah, you have 5 on
the front two, like the front driver and passenger door and windshield has nothing on it. I'm like, fucking. Hey, I just want any amount of tint in that thing. It's so stupidly bright.
Anything would be nice.
But like, I had the Subaru parked in my old garage, so there's like grinding fucking like molten steel in it and like
grit all
like
over the thing.
there's nothing to save that shit. I can't wait till I shatter the windshield in it just to replace it with something better.
Just to get
anything.
a junkyard windshield.
A junkyard windshield will be miles better than this.
Yeah.
And when I do that, I'm going to fill the entire like windshield
the
valley,
windshield surround,
which is completely covered in rust. I should like take time and like sand it all, like
Grind.
even like wire brush or
You
like
be
wire
careful
wheel it with a grinder.
What kind of holes you're gonna dive into doing that? You'll start breaking chunks out of
Well,
it.
then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint whatever's there,
That's
whatever
true.
material is left,
And just
then
fucking glue the shit
it's
out
going
of
to
it.
be like that divot that's there now is going to be flush
Where
with
the
fucking,
windshield like trim is supposed to
Yeah.
be. It's just
is
not.
not there. I'm going to fill that flush with fucking
Put half an inch of
Silicone.
fucking silicone in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I could 100% see that happening.
So
Yeah, I think that's the majority of stuff that we were.
how much time we did?
Like an hour 30-ish. I think it's
Oh,
probably
that's
fine.
right. Okay, longer than I thought.
yeah.
Killed a good amount of time.
Sweet.
I don't think there's anything else worth throwing in there, but honestly, everything went pretty.
Not
I don't know
really.
what plans for the weekend. Well, hopefully,
Putting in gears from what
I'm
it sounds
hoping
like.
so. Yeah.
All I can say is you better have shit for me to fucking do tomorrow.
He has so much stuff for you to do right now.
Tomorrow or Saturday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Friday.
Work tomorrow?
Friday?
Or like after work?
After work.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, he can find work for you.
Saturday?
Tomorrow night, I think Darren's coming over, my uncle, to do house shit. So I'm gonna insulate the bottom tomorrow, like during the day, and then
So you might not have stuff ready for him to do.
yeah, and then he is
gonna
supposed to work. He's supposed to work Saturday,
Well,
so I don't think
you're
Saturday.
only gonna get me tomorrow night
Oh.
Okay,
You wanna
well,
come put
because
3
Saturday I
shocks on?
have shopping and Sunday I have to clean the house.
well, yeah. Sunday we have to finish the brakes on that Cherokee with my other uncle.
Ooh, yeah.
Well,
So
that'll be in
Saturdays
the
are
morning,
only-
so like maybe Saturday afternoon
Depends how bad the
or
fronts
Sunday.
are.
Sorry, Sunday. I mean, yeah, Sunday morning I have to finish the brakes.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon I might do some more
I don't
shit,
know.
but
I
ideally
got the all clear
Saturday.
to work on shit tomorrow night. So
Wow.
Yeah.
get your shit in order.
Well,
You can put 3 shocks on. It
I'll
might
say,
take
yeah,
you
that can
about,
be-
what,
that
3
can be
hours?
Brian.
3-4 hours.
I mean, you guys
Can
can
you
come out to
taper
Hennepin,
one
but-
bolt down for me, please, so I can do the top a lot
Make a
easier?
pin for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose I could
Thanks.
try. I don't know. We'll see.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, ideally Saturday.
We just come try to figure
I'm
out
gonna be
gears and
busy
stuff.
all day
Yeah,
Saturday.
is Michael busy? If he wants to come have fun.
I'm sure he doesn't, but
Fair.
he'll, if he's not at work, he'll probably be duck hunting. So
Fair, yeah.
he
Either
kind
way.
of does that sort of thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
They might
I
be going-
get up at like 6 a.m. Saturday.
They might be going south this weekend because they were gonna do it last
oh
weekend.
yeah.
But everybody got busy.
I'll say ideally,
The
big
hell's he
goal is
doing?
at least get the
Duck
front
hunting.
axle done because like the rear, I would like to kind of tear apart and clean a little bit.
Yeah,
but
the
not-
rear you can get apart and just take time and work on it. Where the
Yeah.
front is like
The
done.
front. If I get the gears in, then I can put the cover back on and get the ram mounted and like
Yeah.
finish up the steering.
God
and
forbid
do
you
all
just
that
wheel it in front wheel
shit.
drive one event.
Well, or not.
You're like, I'd rather
Fuck
not.
that.
No, I've done that before. It sucks.
It'd be
Like,
really awful.
It's really hard to pull an off-road
You got
Jeep up and around and all the
Got
things.
hydraulics now. You're good.
It'd be
Anyway,
better, but not great.
Not ideal.
Yeah. Is
that all for this week?
I'll say my big
Yeah.
thing is that, and then once that's kind of done, build the track bar.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's done, hook all the lines up to the steering,
all the
and then
brakes and
anti-wrap
steering
bar.
Anti-wrap.
Anti-wrap bar needs to be like.
It doesn't need to be done before this specifically. It would just be nice.
It'd
to
be
have
nice
done.
to have done, and then
Just a lot
shock
of-
mount, and
yeah.
then all the little things, which is
All
a
the
whole
things.
lot of.
Look, man, I'm just on hold till we get both the rigs ready for fucking hangover, and then I could start working on shit boxes.
Yeah, mine's just
we have time. Springtime, we have time.
when you have it done, he wants to have it done before
I-
January 25th.
Why?
That's what.
Is that a specific date for what
because
reason?
we're going up to Wisconsin for Christmas for Tori's dad, and
He's like,
I'd,
he's
and
and
you
I'd,
want to have the new motor in it.
and
for
I'd
that?
rather like to have heat in it.
Oh
for
yeah,
that
we'll
drive.
we'll have your like the good car done by then.
Oh yeah,
I really
maybe.
doubt it. I'll
I
be
doubt
honest.
it. Maybe.
It's like,
I have all the time in the world, and I've pulled multiple
That's-
super engines by
Yeah,
myself.
but
I
I
can
want
get
to
the
do
fucker
it
out
because I
want to
say I did one finally.
Well, yeah.
you don't do anything at work. Just say there's a wireless call and
Mm-hmm.
just start turning towers on and off somewhere.
fuck no, I'll get my ass chewed.
We'll,
Well, don't tell
we'll
them.
put your car on my trailer. I'll pull it out to like wherever you're at.
Pull it
You'll
to
come over-
Tonica?
we'll pull into Brian's work in Tonica. Work on it for an hour or two, and you'll say you're at a service call, and then
You do it
we'll
like a
pull
fast
around and do
you
whatever.
like Fast and Furious. He's jumping from truck to truck.
Yeah.
Fucking working
What was
on
that
it.
fucking Australian drag racing movie they did that?
What?
There's an Australian drag.
Mad Max?
I've seen TikToks of the
I'm sure.
movie, and it's like they're on it's like an old yellow Camaro, and it's on a trailer, and they're literally working on the engine while it's on the trailer. And then the cops pulled them over, and they finally get the Camaro working, so they load it off the trailer and take off down the highway. What the fuck? I don't know. I think it was Australian, maybe British.
I don't think you know the difference.
I don't know, brother. Can't say I've seen it.
Anyways, I think that's
Get
all.
the fuck out
that's all
of here
for this week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.